This is a video on how to stop, and more specifically, how to do a turnaround toe stop. So there are two different aspects to the turnaround toe stop. One is being able to turn around or pivot, and the other thing is stopping, putting your toe stop down. Now, this type of way to stop is something I like to use when I am going down a hill or when I'm going super fast, because it's a way that forces your body to actually come to a stop quickly versus other ways of stopping when you're skating slowly at the rink. For example, doing a spin out of it, or doing a T-stop. The turnaround toe stop just feels more like a complete stop. If you are a skate dancer like me, make sure that you remove the jam plugs and put your toe stops back in order to do this turnaround toe stop move. Because without the toe stops, you will fall on your face. Skating through the puddles. If you are skating through puddles and water, make sure that you clean off your bearings immediately after, or as fast as you can, because your bearings will get rusty, and that is no good. Turnaround toe stop. There are two parts to this. Number one, the turning around. There's a couple different ways you can turn around. You can pivot on your toes, or you can jump. Either way, you are going to land and then put your toe stops down. So here's what it looks like in motion. I'll do it with the pivot. You're going to pivot and then stop. I'll do it the other way. Pivot, stop. The way that feels more natural to me is to put my right foot in front, my left foot is back, put my weight on my front wheels onto my toes, and pivot so that my heels are shifting to the opposite side, if that makes sense. So basically, that pivot again, one foot is in front of the other, my knees are facing one way, and then when I pivot on my toes, my knees are facing the opposite way. Make sure that you bend your knees and get into that seated position before you put your toe stops down. Because like I said in the introduction, this is a way of stopping that I do when I'm going super speedy fast, especially down a hill, like if I'm on a trail. And so you really want to be low to the ground with safety gear if possible, so that if you fall, there is less distance between you and the ground. Now I'll show the turnaround toe stop with a little jump. So you're going, do a little jump, and then put your toe stops down. So my right foot is in front, get low, jump, put the toes down. I find that the faster I'm skating, it's best to use the jump and not the pivot. Because if I'm skating super fast and I try to keep my wheels on the ground while turning, while changing my position, I tend to either trip over my wheels, or I overshoot the pivot where I go like an extra 90 degrees and then I get off balance. So for me, oftentimes the faster I'm going and I want to stop, I just do a jump. Because a jump to me, when I'm going faster, for some reason feels more stable. But if you're intimidated by that jump, go ahead and just stick with the pivot and then put your toes down. Another element to this turnaround toe stop move is how long are you waiting to put down your toe stops? So here's the pivot. I'm continuing to skate backwards before I put my toes down. However, you can also do it like this, where you pivot and immediately put your toe stops down. Whoa, that was a bad example. Let me try that again. You're going, pivot, stop. This is perfect. There's a white line here. I'm going to use this white line as a stopping point. So I'm going to pivot right on the white line and stop immediately on the white line. Versus this way of doing it, where I'm pivoting and I continue to skate backwards past the line and then take my time to stop. It's really how long are you wanting to continue to skate backwards before coming to a complete stop? Sometimes if you're skating super fast and you turn your body, naturally the momentum will slow down a bit. After you turn and you're skating backwards on a flat surface and your momentum starts to slow down, you can bend your knees, spread your feet apart more. Here, I'll face this way so you can see. So I'm skating backwards, I'm naturally slowing down, and you can slow down even more by pressing in to your inside edges. So press in, keep your feet staggered, and then eventually put your toe stops down. Pivot, keep skating, do a bubble to slow down even more, and then put your toe stops down. So let's rewind back to the immediate stop, which looks like this. Pivot, stop right away. This is a move that you would use if, say, there's a wall right here and you don't want to just crash into the wall. Maybe you're at the roller rink and there is a person, especially a small child. Often they are an obstacle at the rink. Oh no, there's a small child. I gotta turn around and stop real quick. Boom, you just saved their life. You're a hero. Oh, you know what? Prop. Let me get my prop. Get my boot. Let's imagine for a moment that my boot is a small child that just fell over and continues to lay on the ground at the roller skating rink. I'm going to use my turnaround pivot into a toe stop in order to stop just in time. Okay, so let's say that kid is still there. Now I'm going to use the pivot jump, the 180 jump technique, and go right into a stop. So what I just did was jump and immediately land on my toes. So I'm not landing on my wheels at all. Remember, the pivot, you land on your wheels for a split second, and then you pop your heels up onto your toe stops. For the jump, for the 180 jump, you're jumping straight onto your toe stops. And if you want to, you can practice doing that 180 jump in place and landing on your toe stops. It'll look like this. So that's awkward to do just in place. It helps if you really get low and stick out your butt. Like this. Whew. Okay, so let's bring this child back, and I'm going to show the 180 jump turnaround toe stop. Now keep in mind, the 180 jump turnaround toe stop, you don't have to put your toe stops down right away. You could do it like this. You could do a 180 jump just because you like jumping, continue to skate, and then slow down a little bit more, and then finally put your toe stops down. So jump, continue rolling, stop. So essentially, I just demonstrated to y'all 4 different ways that you can do a turnaround toe stop. Here's number 1. 180 pivot, roll, Here's number 2. The 180 pivot to the immediate stop. Here's number 3. 180 jump. Continue rolling and then come to a stop. And the final one I like to do is a 180 jump onto my toe stops. In my humble opinion, these are the best ways to come to a complete stop when in roller skates. I do have a couple of videos on my channel already that will help you to do a 180 turnaround toe stop. So I'll put a video here, a tutorial on how to do a 180 pivot, and here is a tutorial on how to do a 180 jump. Good luck!